Oh boy. Oh boy! Hello.
Oh my god!
No, I'm not. It's all set to go, everybody. We are back with Year of the Bear this week. We have our full cast ready to pound at this. Basically, everything I've thrown at you has, if not given you conditions, maybe caused a little bit of a stress. So let's attend to the current matter at hand. Introduce everybody and immediately get Kiara back into the swing of things, because we are curious what your character was up to while we were away. So, if Emma, would you like to go first and introduce Courage and everything he is about without your character sheet?
Yes, so I'm in a different house, so I do not have my character sheet, but I will do my best, yes. I'm playing Courage. His goal, I haven't decided yet, because we haven't started the game yet. His ideal is to protect those who cannot protect themselves. And he, even though he's scared, he likes to stand his ground, in the face of danger. Big muscles, big heart, is what I like to say. And usually he has a wonderful, not annoying at all American accent, but unfortunately today I will not be doing that because I'm not on top form. But otherwise, I'm good to go.
All right. And Misha, would you like to introduce Kiara? And yourself.
Sure. Yes, I'm Misha B. BG Gameworks on Twitter. Black Girl Gameworks is my website. I'm playing Kiara, the guard mouse, who so far has been one of the two, hey, are you sure you want to do that really dumb thing you're about to do? Voices in the party. Kind of the mom and dad of the group, as it were. Last week I was missing, so I don't know what exciting adventures these guys were up to, but it'll be interesting to see.
And to give us give us the weather, Yomo and Heathcliff Moss.
Hi, I'm Guillermo. I am also Heathcliff because we are mice today. I believe that the territory safety is most important, and the guard code has the answers. And when it doesn't, it does. So shut up. And I like bugs, and it's all pretty good. It's a good mouse life over here. It's not like we try to liberate.
We have not had bugs in a while.
It's fine.
Ever since I had a toad eat your bugs, sadly.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I just had them.
I apologize. Oh, we talked about a bee saddle. Oh, that was just
a bee chariot.
Elf, help us.
Help you. I don't know if I can, but hi, I'm Distracted Elf, and I'm playing Moira. She is sort of a scientist, healer, mouse type. She believes that there's always a way to figure it out without violence, and her instinct is to wait shyly for someone else to speak first. And I don't have a goal yet, because, well, we don't have goals yet. Cool.
Not yet. Soon we will. So, does anybody want to do the prologue? Now that I have officially put on my lipstick after messing it up immediately.
Definitely not me. I've actually
I can do the prologue.
Conditions. I remember that last time. So
Prologue? Sure thing. You can get a nature point or a condition in return.
I've been on nature 3 for a while, so let's work on that nature. So last session, we returned from Roswell to Lockhaven. Kira was along for the ride or missing. Every time we looked, Kira was there and then gone, and then there and then gone.
Kira decided to pursue the ferret that one of you, that the Tenderpaw so kindly rescued from the protector.
That's not how I remember it.
That's how I remember it.
We presented our report, we found some backstory, and then we went our separate ways. Moira took the more sensible route of doing some research, while Heathcliff and Courage went to meet Courage's family, which was, as my notes say, met Courage's family, parentheses, intense, close parentheses. We found out exactly what made Courage, which was a lot. we found out that Courage's brother, Willpower, short Will, is working with the Protectorate, which, we're gonna have to kill him now, I guess. Probably not. We'll see. Probably we will. Anyway, we met back up together. Kira arrived, and we were deciding what the correct procedure was as to what our squad was going to be doing, because they keep asking our opinion. Heathcliff doesn't really understand why the matriarch is asking for our lowly opinion. We're just mouse guard, but they are, so we had to answer. And we were deciding if we were going to be in the forefront, trademark, or if in the periphery of the bear battle. We came kind of to the conclusion that we were going to be in the periphery of it, because it's kind of insane what they're trying to do. But we were waiting for you, Misha, to arrive, so we could make a together decision instead of a free decision. And there we go. And
so we're fighting a bear.
Yes, we are going to engage. The Protectorate, at least, believes it has gathered enough forces as well as weaponry, some of which has been built by your brother, Courage, to, if not kill the bear, drive it away and think twice about stomping any mice. And one of the guard captains actually quit the guard to help pursue this. Bardrick, or Captain Bardrick, threw off his cloak and has officially joined the Protectorate's cause. Meanwhile, Gwendolyn is concerned about what this will do to the territories, and appears to be hesitant on outright ordering your patrol to do a select couple of missions in response to the Protectorate's decision. But before we get into that, Kiara, I sort of made this decision because your belief, as I have it here, is it's better. Oh wait, no, that's Courage. Oh God, it's better to stand and. Oh no, it is. It's better to stand and fight than let trouble sneak up on you later.
Yeah.
This ferret that has been released is a natural predator of mice. Even though Sir Quinn was using it as a mount, I decided and sort of figured that you would approve that your character would try to pursue this ferret and make do with what will happen next. We'll have to decide that. Is that what you believe would happen?
Yes, she'd at least try to get it out of the territory. I mean, she knows there's no chance she's gonna be able to capture or kill it, because that's a ferret. I'm a mouse. Ferret, mouse.
Bear.
So, yeah, which is why I'm. We'll get to that in a moment.
Yay!
But yeah, she will do what she can to try to drive it out of the territories and away from past the scent barrier, and hopefully that'll work.
Okay. Now, do you want to make a hunter check or a scout check to sort of figure out where it was going, perhaps?
Sure.
And I'll just roll the ferret's nature.
Where did the book go? Here it is.
Ferrets, like weasels, can use their nature for basically anything they want to do. Yep. Ferrets have 5 nature.
Alright.
Well, I got all 2s. Oh,
Wow.
Ooh.
That's
You
impressive.
Just roll it, boys.
So scout. Can I add Pathfinder since I'm trying to figure out what path they're finding?
You unfortunately cannot help yourself with other skills, but
Got it.
what you can do is burn a trait if you'd like. That is appropriate for this situation.
Can I use Herbwise and make a stinky concoction that will help me drive the ferret in front of me?
I think I will allow that because Herbwise is something that you have not brought out until now.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, how do you use Herbwise? Yeah.
Let's see. Go ahead. I'll allow you to burn reroll in order to help yourself with a wise. Because sometimes I do think you can help yourself with a wise, and in other games, I'm kind of like on the fence. I think it's okay if you help yourself with a wise. Go ahead and add 1 dice to your scout. Let's just make that call right now.
Oh,
Sounds legit.
I got 2.
Nice.
2 successes. So, the ferret is moving through a mouse territory, obviously trying not to get any attention, and you're able to effectively. I think you sort of are able to mask your mouse scent in case like an upwind might drive your smell over to it, because ferrets do have little winkly noses, and I imagine that eventually you do catch up to the ferret because it is traveling through unfamiliar territory, and you realize it is moving south from Maple Harbor towards the southern shoreline, and it is unaware of your presence, but you notice that it's been trying to sort of throw off the saddle and armor and saddlebags that Sir Quinn had sort of put onto it and lashed tightly. And you see it's struggling with the bridle, and it stops every now and then to just sort of like roll on the ground and like shake its head. But it doesn't seem to be aware of your presence. It does appear to keep moving because the herbs you have acquired are valid. Thank you.
I imagine that the bridle also includes some sort of muzzle-y kind of thing that's keeping the ferret's mouth closed.
Yeah, or at least like always biting down on something. So it's like always got.
Got it.
What do you think Kiara does next? You at least know that it's moving south, so eventually it may actually veer towards the shoreline of Maple Harbor. It won't reach Grass Lake. Grass Lake is all the way across the lake.
Okay. I'm gonna try to stay on the side between. So, if the ferret's going this way and Maple Harbor is like over here, I'm gonna try to stay between it so that I keep driving it towards away from Maple Harbor. But if it ever like stops long enough to sleep, I'm gonna try to sneak close enough to snip that bridle off.
Oh, interesting. With your weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the hopes that, okay, well, now it's going to go faster.
Make a nature check, I think, because you're sneaking.
All right.
And I'll just do another ferret roll. I only got 1 success this time. Hey! Oh, man. I thought 5 dice with this ferret would be much better, but no. Go ahead and tell me exactly how this act works, because you are going to be able to get the bridle off. You're going to be able to like sneak up when it's resting. I think when it's decided to take a sunbathe, a little nap, and you're going to go forth and release the bridle.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to get close enough to just. So what I know of horse bridles, and I'm assuming a ferret bridle is similar. There's sure, we're gonna go with that. So there's a thing that goes around the nose and between the teeth, and so if you cut
and then under the jaw,
above it, if you cut like one of these, it should be able to slide off. So that's what we're gonna do.
And with that, you're able to, and this leather that has been used to make this bridle, it's actually sort of clearly been like remade. It's been ripped off from the looks of it in previous times, and it's sort of been like hashed up with like grass or like reeds that have been stripped to sort of repair it. You're able to make a quick cut to without cutting the ferret's face off at the same time, and it immediately jumps up and begins to bound away. You see it is on all fours, its long spine arched like this as it just sort of like bounces away from you in this startled manner. Its eyes wide.
I probably freeze because I'm going to just keep an eye on it and see what it's going to do. If it's going to attack me, I'm not going to attack it. Or other way around. I'm not going to attack it unless it's attacking me and vice versa. You go away, I'll go away.
It does keep bouncing from side to side a little.
Is that a ferret threat display of some sort?
Do you want to roll Hunter and try to figure that out?
I don't have Hunter.
Because Hunter is used to understand another animal's nature.
How about Survivalist? Because I want to survive this encounter.
At this moment, it is not. It seems to be putting on a display that is sort of trying to. What is the word? Accent its size. It's trying to sort of show off its size to you.
Gotcha.
But it's not attacking. It's sort of like a forewarning of, I'm big and I'm bouncy. You won't get me.
I like back away slowly.
Okay. It starts backing away as well. And Norwin, you see, now begins to chew at its the armor that is sort of encasing its fur. Now that its teeth are free, and eventually it actually gets all the armor off and all the saddlebags, and you hear in like broken mouse speech, it says,
Well, thank the little one, if you could.
I will let Courage know. No attacking?
Tis friend.
Okay.
Nor grateful.
Okay.
Go.
Bye.
and you see it bounces again on all fours a little further back. Then it spins, and then it runs off towards the distant waters.
Works for me. I'm going to go inspect those bags that it just dropped.
Sweet. You inspect the bags, and to your delight, there is a little hoard of goodies here. There's some delicious gab croon, and you see a special pouch that is wonderfully made to house a big, juicy honeycomb as well. There are a few strips of dried meat as well, probably for the mount. You also see that there are a set of letters, several of which are clearly marked to Bardrick, the guard captain of Lockhaven. They read as support letters and assurances that various towns have agreed to aid in the Battle of Lone Pine, as they call it, in order to drive the bear east and ensure that it is devastatingly wounded, if not outright killed. They also speak of the Fishers of the South, and that these weasels have agreed to attend the battle with them. And not to worry about the promises they have made to the weasels. Because after the battle, their numbers will be too low to actually fight back against the mice, since they are at the forefront of the battle.
Did I previously know about promises to weasels?
No, but you did know that the Protectorate does use other animals like ferrets as mounts and other task-heavy units in their sort of propped-up army.
Fair. Okay. Are there any that aren't addressed to Bardrick? And do they contain
There are a few that are addressed to Port Sumac. There are some ships that are willing to transport mice for several amounts of coin. It seems the Protectorate have sort of created this immense operation at Lone Pine for this battle. And
Gotcha.
especially to denounce the Guard if they do not join their forces with the Protectorate. And essentially prop the Protectorate up as the defenders of the territories if the Guard is unwilling to do anything but pick up shattered pieces.
I keep all the letters, put them back into a pouch of some sort. My pack, probably. Because I'm guessing the weasel pouch is probably a little bigger than I'm prepared to carry. You
do see one more letter. It is a concerning one, because it is from Abigail to the Protectorate as a whole, to many of its high officers. And it says within its paragraphs, wow. It basically lays out that the Protectorate are to seize any red-cloaked mice and search their cloak pockets and to see if there is a white stripe anywhere. And if they discover that, they are to seize them and hold them for questioning.
This is to the Protectorate.
Yes, as a whole.
So, red cloak with a white stripe on the inside.
On the inside, yes.
Okay. I will also keep that one.
They declare these mice as agents of treason within the territories and of the Guard. They are not to be trusted.
Well, that's lovely.
And they seek to undo everything that the Protectorate has created. And then you begin your march towards Lockhaven, yes?
Yeah. If that's where everybody else was, then yeah.
Yeah, everybody was heading to Lockhaven. Go ahead and you know what? I think along the way, I want you to make a Pathfinder check.
All right.
As well, actually, I remember you wanting to do a survivalist. You could also make a survivalist check because the roads to Lockhaven are well forged at this time of the year. Now that spring has sort of spent a few weeks tending to the winters. And you could sort of make camp and make sure that everything is secure in the wilds where you're staying.
Alright, so survivalist. I have 2 successes.
I'll do obstacle 3. Uh-oh. Do you want to use Herbwise again to help yourself and spend a fate point to re-roll?
Sure.
Okay, because you just need one more success.
So am I re-rolling or am I adding one?
You're re-rolling 1.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
I do have
I like
the supplies, though, that I was given, that I just snarked from the, whatchamacallit.
True. But you can keep those in your equipment because we have already made the roll.
Yeah.
So just note that down as a failure for survivalist.
Alright.
And what I will do next is say that you're about maybe an evening's march to Lockhaven.
Okay.
And for the past while, you've been able to successfully keep out of any predators, midst, and keeping to the roads to catch up with your patrol. And one night, you have made camp, and as you go out to get supplies to keep yourself tidy, you realize that you've been followed. Because there are very obvious tracks sort of circling around your camp.
Okay. I stop and look around for whoever may be following. If you mean no harm, you can come and share the fire. Otherwise, I might have to stab you in the eye. I'm not very threatening.
Okay. Underneath a leaf, an old crackly leaf, a mouse comes out. They are garbed in a crimson cloak, and they are of a blonde fur quality. And he sort of has the cloak sort of wrapped around his front so you can't see his body or anything that may lie within. And you see his little paw stick out and gives a little wave. And he says, "Oh, you're perceptive."
Occasionally. I'm
Excellent.
Kira. You are?
Kira, you make Hobie. Toby.
Nice to meet you, Toby. Is there a reason you're following me?
So, I heard there was a ferret around.
Yeah, I chased him off. Went back that
You
way.
did?
Yeah, well, pretty sure. 90% sure.
There wasn't anything on it that was any concern to the guard, was it?
I look him up and down. Does he appear to be a guard mouse? I mean, he's wearing a cloak, but that doesn't necessarily mean.
Yeah, guards mice have their cloaks sort of specially made. They're sort of coated in a beeswax, and they have a very fine the guard's cloak is of a high tier quality of weavers. It's waterproof, it's durable, all that stuff. His cloak is that, but you don't see any sign that he is otherwise. He would probably declare, "I'm a guard's mouse," if he was.
That's Guardmouse business.
Okay, well, I'm on the matriarch's business. And she would like to know if there's anything, any tasty details about that ferret.
See, anybody can say they're on the matriarch's business. Do you have anything that, I don't know, proves you're on the matriarch's business?
Well, to other folks who are in...
matriarch, and she'd get really pissy at me if I just started telling, every little secret about the guard mice to every little person who happened to walk by. Just say it.
That's true. Well, I do know her secret dandelion tea recipe.
Make it for me, and I will tell you.
Very well.
I've had the dandelion tea recipe, so I would know that if it was a fake.
Of course. He goes to your fire, he starts boiling water, and he pulls out, surprisingly enough, a little beautiful embroidered pouch of dandelion. And he also brings out a letter for you. And he says, "This has your name on it. I was wondering if there's a Kiara around here, because your patrol is in Lockhaven and you're not."
You wouldn't happen to have a white stripe on the inside of that cloak, I say as I'm opening the letter.
He sort of narrows his eyes at you and says, "Well, I wouldn't know why you would think there would be such an intricate design on such a simple cloak."
I'm told the Protectorate is looking for mice in red cloaks with white stripes on the inside.
I could use some calming dandelion tea right now.
Yes, I believe you probably could.
You're not
You wouldn't have to
sympathetic to
know
the Protectorate,
why.
are you? Because
Fuck
if
no,
you are
they're
sympathetic...
assholes.
Okay, thank you. That's good. They're the biggest assholes, right?
Right? Always walking around with their undented armor, trying to say, "Oh, we're the big bad guy. We can do all the things. The guard never gonna do anything for you."
Well, it's unfortunate that I seem to be caught in the work of dealing with assholes. So, here's what's going to happen as I understand it from the matriarch's position. This letter, you can open it if you want, or you can't, because it was a sort of very hastily made decision. Your patrol can do many things right now. I mean, you could keep doing, helping the good towns that have been stepped on by the bear, like Appleloft. I think your patrol could do very good works rebuilding Appleloft. Of course, you could get involved in that battle. Good gracious. However you'd like. Or you could see, what the white stripe really means.
Oh, that doesn't sound ominous at all. I do read the letter, though.
The letter is from Gwendolyn. Her handwriting is apparent, and it has her seal on it. And it reads, essentially, "Please return to Lockhaven as soon as you can. Your patrol has a mission, but I am wary about giving it to them." Because there is much at stake if it fails. I will not send you alone to complete this mission, but you cannot retreat once you have it.
I folded back
Your
up.
patrol does good work elsewhere in the territories. and my trust will never diminish for what you've done. And she signs it, the matriarch of the Mouse Guard.
I fold the letter back up, put it in my pocket. Look at Toby. Finish that tea yet? Because we might have to take it to go.
My paws hurt, he says woefully, and packs up his little pot. He sets it steep for a little while and hands you a cup. And he's added like some ground powder into it. And he's like, matriarch usually uses cubes, but a very tiny ounce of sugar helps it go down.
Does make it less bitter.
She also mixes basil. I hate that.
That's what it is! I've been wondering what the hell that frickin' taste is.
Disgusting.
Makes it very grassy.
And from there, you can return to Lockhaven with Toby.
Yep.
And that is where we left the rest of the patrol. You see that Kira has returned with a crimson-cloaked mouse that you recognize from Gwendolyn's office.
What's up?
Hello!
I'm glad you made it back.
What's this about fighting a bear? I leave for like 5 minutes and you guys start going, bear! What are you thinking?
For the record, do not agree with the bear fighting plan.
Thank you!
We don't want to fight the bear. We're just gonna watch them fight and help them not die at the end. I think that was at least the plan for now, right?
I think
That was
so.
certainly what I was thinking. Yeah, stand back, wait, watch, and deal with the aftermath, because that's what you do with natural disasters. You don't try and shoot them with ballistas.
Yes. Kira, did you have a successful mission?
Yeah, we got rid of the ferret. Oh,
Okay.
pretty sure it would pass
I'm
us in border.
sorry. Yes.
What?
I'm
You're
sorry.
It said thank you.
Oh, cool. Friends in weird
I
places.
like toss Heathcliff the honey pouch.
Dude,
Ooh,
Heathcliff, there's
nice.
a big, fat, juicy hunk
Oh.
of a honeycomb in there.
It's a little smaller than what it started. It's honey, but there's still a good bit left.
Thank you so much. I will add that to my inventory, says Heathcliff breaking the fourth wall.
In the
I
the camera.
gotta go see a matriarch about a letter.
Okay. Wait. Hey, you, Red Cloak Man. I recognize you. You were in the office before, right?
Yeah!
Hi. How are you doing? I
Hi.
thought you looked like kind of
Oh, I'm
mysterious and cool.
splendid.
Of course, you're
I
friends
don't.
with Kira. That makes so much sense. Oh,
I mean, I just met her on the road.
that you
It's
don't need that long to
wonderful.
become best friends. Takes seconds. There's a feeling in your heart, you know.
Mm.
We'll just go with that. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Well, I just came back to town to make sure that, all of you were doing well and that Kira got back just in time, it looks like. I will go elsewhere now. And he raises his cloak like this and he starts, sidestepping into Lockhaven.
You might
So
want to
see you-
come with me to see the matriarch before you get. She might have something for you to do after.
He
Maybe.
swivels, not dropping his cape, and begins making his way to the long stairway to Gwendolyn's office.
He's a weird one.
Yes, but lots of people are.
Yelp.
I
To
follow.
Gwendolyn's! I draw my
Yeah, I
name
guess we follow.
Put the weapon
Right.
away. You don't
Okay,
pull
it was just
weapons with the
he had a
matriarch.
flourish. I want a flourish too. It's okay.
Kira, Gwendolyn's office has changed since you last saw it. It is now a flurry of disorganized activity trying to stand against the immense complications of a bear wandering through the territories. 3 towns have already been tremendously affected by this disaster, and the Protectorate are now causing all sorts of dissent, essentially. But she gets many of her secretaries and tender paws that are helping her sort through this out of the office. And Toby goes to a corner and just sort of stares at a portrait of an old fur who might or might not be Idris Elba. And
I'd stare.
I mean, I don't blame him now.
And Gwendolyn folds her little paws in front of her and says, "It's good to see the 4 of you at last." Oh, Kiara.
Yes, I like
how was your
hand
time?
over the pile of letters.
Gracious.
Semi-productive, I suppose. The ferret is gone. At least that one. Apparently, the Protectorate, though, has been making some kind of deals with weasels that they may or may not be worried about after the fight with the bear, but apparently some promises were made. I'm not sure what those promises were. Like, hey, we'll destroy the scent border and let you in, or what kind of, I don't know what kind of promises we're talking that you could make to a weasel that I think a weasel would find attractive, but I don't like the sound of it. So, yeah, there's that. That's about my time.
All right. She begins looking through some of the letters, wincing at some of the ones that are clearly made by Bardrick, and says, "Well, this is I've run out of stacks for distressing news as of late, so this will make a nice, tidy pile." Just sort of slides them to the side. And she says, "So, as I'm sure you have guessed, there's a lot that your patrol can find to do in the territories as of late. I wanted to make sure that all of you at least were united once more before I sent you off to perform your duties."
What's this about a white stripe?
Well, that would... And she sort of glances over at Toby and says, You can have a seat if you want, Tobias." And he goes, "Very well." And he sort of flourishes his cloak in a very dramatic manner, and he spins, and you see there is what appears to be a delightful array of tools beneath his cloak, and on what looks like sort of like basically a utility harness. And he sort of flourishes, and you see, now that it's exposed, a sort of hidden weave of folded cloth of white running down in a straight line within the interior of his cloak as he sort of makes his way into a seat, sort of folds himself down and tries to look as serious as he can, as he says, "Because of the task ahead of us with the bear and the weight of the Protectorate's influence, I find, and the matriarch agrees, there are some things that must be done that can't be trusted with a regular patrol. So, if you'd like, you can undertake a mission that can never be public, and possibly
when
circumvent.
do we become not a regular patrol?
We're cool patrol, not a
quietly.
regular patrol.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, there are other patrols. There are other patrols for this. You're one of them. Trust me. You're not all so special.
You're
I'm
a nice
special.
squad.
But the matriarch is impressed by what you've done during this disaster, especially due to your proximity to... Well, let's just say, if you'd like, you can perhaps stop this battle with the Protectorate and the Bear from happening. It'll be very dangerous, however.
How would we do that?
I support this.
Miss Kiara, I believe you have a friend that is proficient in science stuff.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
I do. Graham.
Graham.
Graham's a scientist.
Yeah. So,
Did he sue my
Actually.
squad, really?
It's good though. It's good though.
can you recount for me what exactly happened within a root wallow when you returned after the bear basically flipped it on its head?
We flipped it back over with some spider silk ropes and stuff, and helped
before
them
that,
rebuild a
before
little.
it was
And some gross stink.
We scared it off with a stink bomb made out of the leftover scent patrol border juice and some snakeskin.
Well, and he turns to Moira and says, "Tell me, Moira, you are a I mean, obviously you're from Spruce Duck. You have some familiarity with science and chemistry. Do you happen to know
I would
what
call her
field,
competent.
or perhaps her captain?" And if you'd like, you can make a scientist check to sort of get an idea of what those might mean. Actually, no, I don't feel like I should make you roll for this, because you're a science buff. You're a buff in science. So mercaptan is kind of like a word for thiol. Thiol is just basically a strong, odorous compound, an organosulfur compound, commonly found in skunks. And he says, "I believe you borrowed one of these compounds from your good friend Kiara."
No, he told us to get rid of it.
He really should keep our stock in check. Okay, well, here's the gist of it. And please remember, we're not actually going to assume you're going to do this, or that this is actually happening, because the Protectorate is free to do whatever it wants, because it is a band of unified mice. The Guard will not do anything to openly discount their efforts. We would never do that. Supposedly, what would happen if a skunk and a bear got into a fight? Who do you think would win?
Bear? Well, depends on your definition of win.
Who dies or retreats?
If the skunk
First.
managed to get a spray off, the bear would probably retreat. If the skunk didn't get a spray off, the bear would kill the skunk.
She's not
So you're
wrong.
assuming
That sounds right.
So as long as the skunk has its, forgive the language, but this has to, if its anal glands are well stocked, it should be able to mark a tremendous defense against the bear.
Yes. 'Cause
Okay,
even bears don't like stinking like skunk.
Have you ever been sprayed by a skunk? Any of you?
I did try to make. Oh my gosh! I tried
Kiara,
to make
it is
glitter
bad.
bear.
Kiara,
Not-
it is bad.
Not good at all. Not,
It is-
not something I would recommend ever.
It is
I'll
like
take it off
being
my
set
to-do list.
fire with stink. And he says, well, we don't really have a skunk because they eat mice. And unlike the Protectorate, we don't go around making
Trying to tame
predators.
critters?
Yeah, I mean, we can tame critters, certainly.
Yeah,
But it's a whole other thing when... It's a whole other thing. And he shakes his head and he says, and obviously we can't bring a skunk to a battle. That's dangerous. And it's way too open. Everyone would realize a skunk is on its way. So we just have to make something that can operate as a skunk in order to dissuade this battle from actually happening and from the bear ever figuring that the mice are doing something like this. And that it'll leave its territory and hopefully go east and just leave us to our, you know, our measly mice ways. Because if the Protectorate never has this battle, then it never has the chops to say, we defended the territories, no matter what the cost. I mean,
so we're building
we
a better
could-
skunk fight.
I guess so, but you have to think, if this battle doesn't happen, then we don't have the territory lose a tremendous amount of mice. How can the territories operate if a good portion... I can't tell you, many of the eastern towns are going to be significantly open to a lot of rough times in the coming year. Yes, Courage!
Hi, Gwendolyn. How are you?
I'm pretty.
Great.
I'm pretty.
So
I'm pretty.
basic. Good. Good. Okay. Basically, I have a thought. This sounds like a really fun idea concept, but what's to stop the bear from like running as far as it likes to get away from the skunk, and then turning around and then coming back when the skunk leaves?
How long does that skunk smell last, Kiara?
Felt like
Okay.
weeks.
Weeks.
And that
That's
was with
rough.
me
Okay, okay.
fading frequently.
That's really
Okay.
rough.
I think that's
The terrain
a good
the terrain of the wild country to the east, past the scent border, and the eastern scent border has been updated.
cool.
We know for certain it's working. As I said, you're not the only control that we have in mind for this.
Okay. I then think this is a good idea. And we should maybe give it a go.
Yeah,
And can I
it's
be the head of the
possible.
skunk, please?
Moira, this means that you have to begin drafting the mechanism to deliver the glands.
I can
I
try.
have to fire a skunk fight. Oh,
The
God.
gland
Can I
cannon.
control the head when we assemble the Voltron? I'll also
Skunk
take the left
Voltron.
hand because I'm left-handed. I don't think it'll be really fun.
I
The
can-
three
I
of
can-
you will have to support Moira in this activity.
Okay.
As in, we have to actually get...
I
have
haven't
to-
actually made one of these before, so this is going to be interesting, I suppose.
Moira, let me tell you a story, a really cool story
Oh
about.
god.
Don't tell me the story now. Tell me when I need to roll the die.
Not in the office. Wait, what do I
Oh,
actually
you're
do?
rolling the
Oh
dice now.
god.
I thought you were rolling
God.
I'll hold on to it. It'll get better as time goes on, like a fine wine.
Like a fine...
Like a
that's
fine
the last
wine.
thing I want.
The more I think about my stories, the better they get.
Legends
They're
of the
not that
Guard
good.
Wives. So, anuses.
Courage IRL did that laugh I did when you said alien plans.
Skunks are literally the most devastating animal in the animal kingdom.
You haven't met Courage.
Right,
properly then.
I am no joke. Like, I've done research.
Yeah, it's
sure.
not
And-
fun.
And Gwendolyn says, now, that is the mission. Construct something to deliver this compound that you will be making, acquire the compound, and deliver it directly into the bear's face. If that is done on the site of the battle, before the battle begins, then we will stop many lives from being lost, and the Protectorate will not have something to stand on to drive the mice of the territories away from the Guard.
Pressure on.
And yes,
Seems like the
immense
best way
loss
to
of
save
life-
lives.
The immense loss of life will drive people away from the Protectorate in time. But I cannot imagine the slaughter.
This seems like the best way to save as many lives as we can.
Sure.
There
yeah,
are-
It does. It just hinges on the fact that I need to make a thing.
I
That'll
got
do
an
it.
idea for that, though.
You do?
It might even work. I do. So you ever seen an eagle drop a clam so it can break the clam and then like dive, pull the stuff out? So what if we made like some kind of like gliding thing and we could drop the scent butt thing onto the bear?
Ace
Granted,
Combat,
somebody would have to
Mouthguard
be
Edition.
in.
It's certainly,
Guys,
we'd have-
we have
certainly possible.
come up with an idea for a chariot of bees.
Oh,
Very recently.
it.
Oh god.
I love it.
Oh god.
No,
We
really.
could
I'm
have
thinking
Is
a
this-
support
is this-
system in case we miss. So that there's a
It's
way
like
for us
up,
to pick something
all
up
these
from the
bees
ground and bring
suddenly
it back
rise
and
out of
try again.
Lockhaven.
Do, 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 do.
Okay.
This is the real
And
plot of the
Gwendolyn
bee
says,
movie, guys.
if you decide to do this, I don't have the means to tell you not to. Well, okay, wait, whoa, let me try that again. If you decide to do this, then that's it.
Then-
You're locked in. Then you're locked in. It has to be done.
Okay, so if I decide to do it and then I can't make a thing to do it, we're all dead? That's a lot of pressure!
Here's the thing.
Moira?
If we don't do it, we're probably going to be dead anyway because there's a bear.
Not true.
Guys.
The bear's leaving. They're trying to kill it. We just have to not get stepped on. It's not that hard. I don't understand why we're doing this!
Moira, I think you should maybe think a little bit more about, all those poor mice that are going to get killed and stepped on, even if,
Those poor mice should be making better decisions!
Moira, we can make a decision now that could help them.
But it
Please,
puts
my
us
brother's
in
gonna be in there.
danger!
Moira, my brother's already in danger. You have to do it, please.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it. It's stupid. They're stupid, and they're stupid mice, And I have to do this to defend them.
Your assessment here, because yeah, this does not sound like the brightest idea on the planet. But that being said, I think we might have a workable plan. Might being the operative word there.
We can take all the time we need to figure it out as before the battle.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, we can take all the time we need until the bear steps on the people. What, like 2 days from now, maybe less?
You do know,
You've made a
Kiara.
kite before. We're just making a really big kite.
A big kite that squirts.
Sure. It's a kite.
Well, no,
presumably somebody will have to be
one of
in.
us to hold on to, and then we can drop the thing from the kite. That's all we get. We can do this.
Okay, sure. Yeah. All right. Whatever.
All right. Kiara, you know from the letters that the battle hinges on the weasels being present. It also hinges on willpower's mechanisms working and being delivered and being produced. That is essentially what the battle
for their
hinges on.
side?
For their side. For their side. So Gwendolyn will suggest we can have patrols delay this as long as possible. But I seriously doubt it'll go any further than a week. We will provide all materials that you require for this mission. But it must be done discreetly.
Yeah, okay. And somebody already came up with a skunk butt, right? Like the juice, the stink.
We're gonna have to harvest that.
Oh, fuck.
Guys, I'm in if you're in. And Courage puts a hand into the middle of a circle that he imagines will form around him.
You know, this seems a lot smarter than attacking a bear, so sure.
Yes! I'll put another hand in for Samson, because he's here with us in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah!
Come on, Moira.
Moira just
Can't do it without you.
Moira just rolls her eyes like, oh my god, these idiots. And then
Oh my gosh, go! Go now, Sky. Courage starts crying.
Toby,
no, you said no.
Toby
You cheered. You said go team. I'm out. I'm out.
Courage.
All right.
There's no mice in team.
Gwendolyn nods and says, when you're ready, you may begin. When you are doing any missions out locally, you cannot wear your cloaks.
Ooh.
I don't have one, so I'm worried with that.
And Toby says, this is going to be a complex mission. We need discretion. And he sort of flips up his red cloak hood and says, it's very secretive. Also, it's got pockets. Look.
That means, Courage, you cannot go home and talk to your family until this is done.
Okay. I love the little pixelated faces because it's like
I'm sorry.
stuttering a little. So no, it's perfect. It's like you kind of like get a little snapshot of each stage of the face.
The stages of Courage is sadness.
I know, it's so cute. All right,
Courage went.
All right.
So
Bias, I have one question. Who's that in the portrait you keep looking at? This has been bugging me.
It's the Black Axe.
He sounds cool. Or she?
Yeah,
Or they?
they're legendary. Every time the Black Axe has arrived at a battle, particularly in the Winter War, they've defeated predators, driven them away, and the very sight of it, of the axe, drives fear into all who prey on mice.
Where are they now?
We don't know. It's mostly just a legend.
I'll add it to my Legends of the Guardwise. Mentally. Shall we go get a building?
So, do you get a building?
Get building, sorry. Like as in
Get
get
building,
a building?
yeah. It is now in your court. You can make goals and start declaring what you do next. Toby is available, particularly for the harvesting of the mercaptan fluid.
What does the harvesting sort of entail?
That will be yes. That will be a mission in of itself, to acquire the compound and then to create the device. Essentially, here's how I imagine these missions going. One mission to create the compound, one mission to construct the delivery, and then one mission to collect the skunk stuff. And then one final mission to basically go into the battle and deliver it into the bear's face.
Who's gonna drop it?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess my goal is don't fuck up making the contraption thing. Like, I don't know. It's like my whole deal.
Don't fuck up the
I think
contraption.
plans and construction should come first, because there's no point in having any type of gland if we don't have any delivery system.
Yeah, those things kind of reek, and we don't want to bring them into town until we need them. So,
okay. My goal then is going to be to help gather supplies for this construct as fast as possible. # laborer.
Whoa. All right. And Toby is there to help you with anything you need.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll just start on the whole drafting the thing up, because until we know what we need, we don't need anything. So.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That's going to be a real big scientist. A real big scientist. Check.
All right. I'm scientist 2, so this is going to be fun.
Can I?
Can we
assist?
bring in other people to assist?
No, secret mission.
Like Graham.
You could.
If we swear them to secrecy.
You will have now. I imagine Graham is not the most tight-lipped of mice, so I think you would have to. You could get Moira a little helper in Graham.
What about my parents? They're armorers. They could build something, or they could help give us some insight.
Well, for that matter, I'm an armorer.
That's true. But they're also worried that Gwendolyn would be worried about the proximity to a known engineer of the Protectorate right next door.
Okay.
So basically, you guys are trying to hunt for helping dice from other NPCs in town.
Possible. I mean, because I don't have science, so I couldn't help with science myself. But if there's other things we can help with instead, then yeah, we'll do that.
I could help.
Armor.
I could help with apiaries,
Smith.
because bees are not supposed to be able to fly, but they still do. So I will help with the anatomy of a bee for flight.
Okay.
And
All right.
help with that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. I will allow this.
Okay, I'll drop in Legends of the Guardwise to help. I can do that, right?
You can, but it's gonna have to bring some science-y inspiration from Moira.
Yeah. Now,
Because Moira, okay, so tell me what your intent for this role is, essentially. One, not to fuck up.
My intent is to craft the thing. I mean, I guess I have to draft it because we don't have all the stuff we need. Probably, I don't really know. So I guess that design the contraption that will allow us to deploy the stink glands.
Okay.
So glider or kite?
I don't know.
That really depends. We don't really have a height to drop down on a bear, unless there are hills.
Kite
depends on
means
weather,
you can
if we have winds.
you can operate it from the ground, but if it's a glider, you have a one-shot fly to your
we're on 3. Moira, have you ever talked to
Abigator
nature?
Frenzy says we should put an
That
ad
could really
on
help.
on Craigslist to see if we can find anybody to help.
It's
Yeah, it's on the
crazy
web.
enough to get hits, though.
Craig's got this list on like a bulletin board outside of Lockhaven.
Yeah, somewhere.
He just-
So the advantage of kites is we could theoretically build multiple ones, and you could, station them in a couple places. So you're not relying on one thing. Maybe, depending on what path they take, you could stake out a few potential spots for the.
I mean, I don't understand why we're not just making like a cannon, like a thing to shoot stink.
mouse
Why
think
are
we've gotta
we?
be-
Why are we trying to
we
drop it on its head when we can just aim it at its face?
I think
Because
that-
That's
I don't know
also
if we get the
also
height. Yeah.
something you can do.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't
That's
know if we
also
get the
something
height
you
out
can
of a mouse-sized
Yeah.
cannon. I mean, I guess we could make
if
it
we can
bigger than
hide the
mouse-sized.
cannon and then they can't trace it back to us, I think that would work. But I had a different approach, which would require us not having to build anything.
Ooh.
Oh,
We've seen people harness the power of other critters, right?
you're gonna
Why-
mention the bee chariot again, aren't you?
It doesn't have to be bees, guys, but some sort of flying animal. If we could convince it to come on our side. I think that could be a really good idea.
Design some way to attach it to said flying animal, and then convince the. It's like an
That's
extra
not
step.
hard
we
though.
don't
We've
need.
seen that. We've seen that everywhere. There's harnesses on
That
ferrets,
means that
this
that
wild.
would mean here's the thing. That would mean that creature would make the roll to get close to the bear, and you guys wouldn't. It would operate the advance, and depending on the creature, its nature could be high.
I don't know. If you have a creature in mind, certainly. Why not? I guess, but we don't exactly have a lot of time to woo someone into working with us.
You guys ever heard of a pelican? They
Yeah,
hold
you're
stuff in their
in-
beaks.
You're insane. You're insane. That's crazy. They'll just eat us
No, I'm
immediately.
Eat fish.
And
They're not
anything.
quite their palate. No, I genuinely hadn't thought of it, so it only just came to my mind. Bees, though.
Also, I don't even know if there's big enough water nearby for a pelican to exist.
Yeah, that's the other problem. We'd have to get down to the thing, and then you got to get back, and I don't think we have.
I think it. I think
And we got
herons.
Hummingbird? Hummingbird?
It's either herons or herons are in the territories. It's in the book.
Pigeon?
pigeon,
No
I'm going
pigeons.
to
Ravens,
fade
crows
into
are
black.
also there.
raven, or crow.
Raven or crow?
Blue jays as well.
Ooh, blue jays are mean. They would harass a bear, though. This would be pissy enough to harass a bear.
Goose! There is a
Oh God!
goose.
No cobra
There is
chickens!
a
No
goose.
cobra chickens!
No, they can't fly.
No
But
cobra.
obviously,
geese
this is
can-
just an
Whoa,
idea.
whoa, whoa! Geese can fly. Who told you geese couldn't fly?
Chickens can't fly. Chickens
chickens.
There's bats. Bats as
Sorry.
well. Bats are also a thing.
Fruit
Bats are close to mice.
under the cover of darkness.
Bats are
Fruit bats
practically
under
mice.
the cover of darkness. Guys, this voice in my head just gave us the idea.
Fruit bats under the cover of darkness.
That's a My Chemical Romance
And
song.
bats
Oh.
are
And woodpeckers as well.
eat insects, not. It will be one of the few that doesn't actually eat mice. Because they eat
Fair,
insects.
fair
and other
enough. Yeah,
things.
sure, fair. That. If we can get it done, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we're back to bees. Because we
I thought we were doing fruit bats. I thought bats was the issue.
Fruit bats.
Oh,
Fruit
wait.
bats. Yeah. Fruit bats. Fruit bats. We got
You
there
know
in
any
the
fruit
end.
bats? Can we go and talk to any fruit bats somewhere?
Do I know any fruit
I will
bats?
say Toby will be able to direct you to a nearby place where bats are known to roost.
All right, sweet.
And bats are practically mice. They're just mice with wings, right?
Yeah, they're flying
So we
rats.
should
Yeah.
share a similar
I
language.
mean, flying squirrels as well exist somewhere,
Sorta.
but bats.
Yeah, but those are mean.
bats
Those
feel like
glide as
they're
well.
going.
Yeah, so that okay, here's the thing. That actually cuts out a big part of your role, Elf. Because if you're able to make something that doesn't have to fly, it could just be carried by something that flies. I think it'll reduce
Yeah.
the obstacle for the science check.
I mean, that's helpful.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I think the first thing we need to do is get the bats on board. Because if I design something for bats and then they say no, go away, then we're kind of screwed. So.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're back at square one,
For sure.
which I
Alright.
think was cheese.
Okay.
Now,
So-
if I remember well, not many of us are good at persuading things, are we? So maybe if we bring up
No,
someone who's a
persuading
little
we
more
can do.
helpful-
We can't orate.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
You guys have
actually
been in a
persuade
lot of
things.
situations with talking to many people, but if you're just talking to one particular thing, it might work out.
Should we maybe bring Toby with us? Especially if he's leading
got to
us
show
where
us
the
where
bats
they are in the first place. So
Okay,
Hmm.
let's do it, guys. Bats. Bats. Bats.
Okay, so bats. Got it.
that's
So you will be.
This seems like a
able
very good
to
bad
go
plan.
to- Yeah. Oh.
the
Okay.
best.
So
bat
here's what
plan.
we got. Go hunt bats. Draft the thing for it to be built. Get the skunk glands, and then whatever else you guys think you need to do before the battle.
Okay,
Does
bats
anyone
first.
have
So getting the
That's
skunk
first.
glands means we either have to kill a skunk or find a dead skunk. Right?
Oh, I thought we already had the
Mhm.
stink stuff. That's step one. Like,
No, we don't have any.
You guys do
bits.
not. You guys do not have that.
Oh,
Well, it doesn't-
The problem with
We at least
the problem
have
with
our
gathering the
plans.
smelly stuff is that we need to keep it somewhere, and that's really, really smelly. I mean,
Yes, we
the
had the
smell would
barrels
protect
that like help.
itself.
Yes. Yeah,
I
because nobody's gonna
still-
want to
I
come
don't-
anything near something that smells like that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Let's go find the bats.
Let's go
Okay.
find the bats.
Go ahead and make a goal for this bat mission that we're going to go on.
We need
Hmm.
a bat squadron.
We need a bad signal.
Battalion. It was right there.
Okay.
Battalion.
And as you do this, I really gotta go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna be right back. Okay.
It's fine. Actually, I'll
Well, at least with bats, we have the possibility of bat, rope, so that they can
Ooh.
fly higher. The thing is down here, and it hits, and they just fly by. A
Yeah.
little bit easier drop off than.
Depending on how big they are, we might be able to ride them too. If they're cool with that.
Yeah, we would need to, because otherwise, like Ford was saying, we give up control of anything that's happening and we leave it up to the bats. And bats are well known to be batty. And that's not necessarily a... yeah, so we would need to ride the bats. Or at least the harness in the middle of the bats that delivers.
Only if we get to play Ride of the Valkyrie while we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Who can play instruments here? Nobody.
Possibly, I don't know.
So step 1, hire a DJ. Step 2, get some bats.
Step 2, bats. How did I end up doing this? What life decisions
So many
have
questions.
led me towards trying to ride a bat while
I
playing
don't
Ride of the
know.
Valkyrie towards a bear?
I don't know. I
with
thought
skunk
Mouse Guard
butt.
was just about delivering letters and stuff, and now we're riding bats. I don't know what's happening here.
My dreams are coming true. That's what's happening.
Don't forget the skunk butt. This is a vital part.
Yeah, this is getting very...
Yeah, the butt is very vital.
It is.
Alright,
that's true.
So,
I'm right there with you, Moira. Right there with you.
I mean, honestly, it was either this or infiltrate the Protectorate and assassinate some high official. And I think that this is actually safer.
Mm.
It's not necessarily
I agree.
safer, it's that it's less evil.
Yeah.
I mean, evil.
Assassinating mice is not a thing we do. But
I mean, but we
smacking bears in the
could.
face with skunk butts, that's totally within our wheelhouse.
That's true. That's more mousy than infiltration and assassination. That's more of a rat
must
job.
innovate.
Innovate.
Right.
Innovate.
Great. All right. So you were told by Toby that there is a colony of bats to the north of Lockhaven, and if you'd
Enjoy.
like, start making your way over there to do this mission.
Okay. First things before we leave, we need to get something to appease the bats.
What kind of bats are they? Are they fruit bats or are they
Who is
not fruit
bat-wise?
bats?
I think they're fruit bats. Bats.
Who is bat-wise? I have Haggler too. I can bargain with them.
Oh, that's so cool. It's finally all coming together.
Oh, haggler sounds
You have
great.
haggler.
So
I have hagglers.
they're not fruit bats because the way David Peterson draws them in the comic, I don't think they're fruit bats.
Are they blood bats? I don't like those.
Let
Vampire
me
bats.
Can we find some?
Vampire bats. Mouse
Well,
vampires. Suddenly everything makes sense. This is actually Mouse Ravenloft.
No.
Yes.
This is the worst.
Weasel Strahd.
Strad von Wieselbitch.
Strahd von Wieselbitch! Oh, I love it. Okay. So, what kind of role would this be? You guys need to get there, and you need to get someplace. Like, what are you going to do when you get there? Like, are you going to go to where all the bats roost, or are you just going to hang out in a tree for the bats to come fly by?
I think we
Do the
should go to
bats
where they're
have
going
a
to be.
society?
They do. They sort of do have,
bats
like...
Look, we need bat volunteers, so the more bats we can talk to at once, the better for this mission.
That sounds like an orator check. Nobody has
I
orator.
mean, you're right. We all suck at orator, but I have other skills that I might be able to use.
true.
I don't know.
How many
True.
check marks do you need for
Haggler
ranking
sounds like a
one?
really good opportunity.
If we can offer them something, I think they'll be able to do this for us in return. And I don't think it should be something like, we're saving your asses from this bear, because they can fly.
We can fly!
So we need to think a little bit more.
Yeah, no bear.
than that.
All right.
Like, For example, unfortunately,
Trying to let it
beetles do tend to die in the line of service if they are inclined to eating bugs. You could go along that route. It's a bit morbid, but the same thing
We
could be
can
seen.
bring bee corpses. That's a thing. It's not like they're using them.
We can contribute to the eradication of bees as a race. I feel like
That's not what I said at all.
Dare you?
That is not what I said. That is
Sorry.
the opposite of what I said.
To be fair, I'm just kidding. You can just messing with you.
Now we cut out all of our cams, and each cam box is B movie.
Oh my gosh.
No.
It's what I've been waiting for this whole time.
No, that's Plan B.
All right.
Let's at least get on the road.
Yeah. Let's make a Pathfinder check. Let's just make a general Pathfinder check, and I'm gonna just say it's obstacle 3. No, obstacle 4, because I'm gonna make you guys getting to like a high enough spot to speak to all these bats at once a part of it. Like, it's not just getting to the small cave where they reside. It's also getting to like a ledge where you guys can like talk to them.
All right, I have Pathfinder 3.
I'll help you with Labourer. Or with
I'm now
Pathfinder.
standing on Courage's shoulders.
I can Pathfinder as well, so I'll help you with that.
Yeah.
Or Scout, I suppose.
I help with Pathfinder too.
All right,
Alright.
so it's 6.
Doo-doo.
Yeah!
God damn!
Oh! That's beautiful.
So many
that. You
paths.
had
Oh
some
my
twos,
God.
you got them fours.
That's me.
I got
That's me
6
right there.
fours. We successfully find a spot to get high enough.
It is almost as though there is like a stage for you. It is, you arrive at a time when all the bats are going to like start waking up and fly into the night, or sundown rather. I believe Emma had to go catch the taxi. So,
Yes.
as expected, going to pursue the bats without courage. Courage is too emotional. Like, so much has happened that courage just closes up and it's just like vibrating in your midst because they are so excited.
Well, okay then.
The bats are aware of you, and some of them are cheeping to each other, going,
Mice! The mice! Look, the mice! They come!
and
Well, that's like creepy dog, guys.
also, you guys have your crimson cloaks as well with the white stripes because this is secret. And
I'd like to point out that crimson is not a very secretive color, but I will save that for another time.
That's criticism for the secret police or whatever.
That's for a different time.
I created the character and I was like, oh, he's in a red cloak and he's so cool. And I was like, wait, it's supposed to be secret. What?
I mean, that's like wearing hunter orange.
You see, one of the bats is sort of like doing this. And then it stops when it notices you and it goes,
Oh, hello!
Hello.
Evening.
Yeah, good evening.
We're hoping that we might be able to.
Why you bother us?
We have a potential situation which I think might actually affect you as well. There's a bear invading the territories, and it's already destroyed a few mice villages, and I'm sure it's destroyed a few homes of other creatures, such as yourselves, and we were wondering if it would be possible for you to ally with us so that we can get rid of said bear before it destroys everything.
That is a ground problem.
Yes, but
We
your
are
dwelling
there
is close
in the
to the
sky.
ground.
And when it says sky, all the bats go, sky, sky, sky.
Yes, but your dwelling is on the ground-ish. I mean, it's certainly shorter than the bear. So it's kind of not... I mean, yes, you could totally fly away, but then you'd have to find a whole new home, and that would take a while. And I'm sure you have babies that wouldn't be able to just fly away with you, and that would be bad.
And you see that this bat once again starts doing this, and it turns away from you. And all the bats start chittering together in this high-pitched... Sounds like... It doesn't sound like they're talking, it sounds like they're laughing. And they do not respond.
We can, of course, offer something for your help.
What she said.
This makes it stop. And it goes,
Like what?
That totally depends on if you're vegetarian or carnivorous.
Like what?
Well, we do have honey. If you're more of the vegetarian style bats, and if you're more of the carnivore style bats, we do have bee bodies.
let's make that haggler check.
All right.
It's going to be versus the bats.
All right. I have Haggler 2.
The bats will be rolling their nature.
I have the same.
because-
I have the same. So I'll help Kiara with my haggling as well.
All right. So we're up to
Such
4.
haggling.
I helped Kira by
Okay.
taking the honey that I was given earlier on in the session and presenting it like Simba.
Oh, I used your yay! Okay. Sounds great. This bat got 2 successes.
Ain't nobody got time for bats? There you go.
Double
2,
sixes.
but they're 6s.
You want to spend a point to
Yep.
explode
I will.
those?
I will definitely spend a point to explode those.
Excellent.
That's nice. That's 3.
Very close. Very close. So, as Heathcliff, as you raise the big golden orb of honey goodness, a bat comes flying out of the large midst of these creatures, and all at once, honeycomb is gone. And this bat that is
Are my
taking
hands
it,
there?
and it's yes, your hands are no, your hands are completely gone. They're no, yoga. And this bat circles and squeals in triumph as it noisily gloms on the honeycomb, and it lands on the wall, sort of like spread out next to you guys. And all at once, the bats fly away in frustration because they were not. They were sort of hesitant to agree to your transaction. But this bat seemed very eager, and it sort of turns its eyes towards you, these big shiny eyes, and says,
I would be happy to help you in this endeavor for honeybees. Maybe.
What?
Okay, I would know.
Bartholomew.
I would know who you all are.
Of
Moira.
course.
Moira.
I'm Kira.
Kira.
This is Courage.
Heathcliff.
Courage. Yeah, the one bouncing up and down, that's Courage.
He can't help himself. He's very excited.
honey bear?
I am Heathcliff. Are you Bartholomew?
No, and that is in very poor taste.
I'm Spook.
Ooh.
I'm Spook. And I will be your...
What exactly did you want me to do with this bear?
I cannot slay a bear.
We just need you to fly kind of at it so we can throw stuff at it. Or so you can throw stuff at it. Or drop stuff on it. Or, yeah.
We're gonna annoy the bear.
I'm like sizing Spook up. How big is Spook?
He's pretty big. Bats are they're like double the size of a mouse.
Yeah,
And their wingspan
big.
is, yeah, they're pretty big.
So theoretically, it could carry one of us if need be on its back.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Spook is certainly, he seems a lot more comfortable around you mice. The rest of the bats sort of shy away immediately now that the offer is gone. And he says,
So, this is just a little prank. The big old bear.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yep.
And if it's a successful prank, the bear will go away and leave us alone.
That's great. And honey for Spook.
And honey for Spook.
Honeybees for Spook.
Honey for Spook.
Yes. Well, dead honeybees for Spook. Because if we kill the honeybees, we can't make more honey. And so then Spook won't get honey. So honeybee bodies for Spook.
But covered in honey.
Sure.
Good. Spook. You want to fly now? Do you want to try fly? Kira?
Yeah, actually, kinda. I kinda do.
Heathcliff? Definitely
I
not
actually kinda
me.
do.
Spook sees Heathcliff beginning to back away, and it crawls onto your ledge, and its nostrils sort of like a wrinkle towards you, Heathcliff, and it starts licking your paws because they are still covered in honey. And he says,
Honey bear. Let's fly. I fly.
Okay.
And, yep. And you feel it sort of nudge you onto its back after it has sufficiently cleaned your paws of honey, and it begins to drop off the ledge. And it goes,
Hold on tight. Super tight. Don't fall off.
and I will go ahead and say it's the most terrifying thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
From there, we are going to be essentially, you got one step done. The science check is going to be terribly lower than what I had in mind. The obstacle is probably going to be like obstacle 6 instead of like 8. And from there, I think we're going to call the session because you have accomplished one very important part of the mission: how to deliver the compound of the skunk. But now we must create the device that will be used, as well as acquire the glands and the stuff that comes out. And then we have the final assault on the bear. So, we'll call the session there and make our departure calls. Emma's unfortunately not
Alrighty
here,
then.
but we thank Emma for playing tonight. and wish her the best of luck. Kira, let's have Kira's out, or Misha's outro rather.
Yeah, Kira says bye, and we'll try to write that next time. But Misha says hi, Misha. BG Gameworks online or on Twitter. Black Rose Gameworks is my website. Yeah, that's me. Fun and exciting, insightful things occasionally, and now I have to go and make a quilt.
A quilt, that's right. I forgot. We have to do rewards. I am horrible. I forgot to do rewards last time. Okay.
Rewards are for people who achieve things.
Fair. This session was a lot of catch up and prepare for the final few sessions. What were your goals for the bats, by the way?
Convince the bats to help.
Okay.
My goal for the bats was make sure the bats are happy to help us, rather than like just helping us because they have to.
Oh, that's true. There's
and this guy seems pretty happy, so I think we're good.
Oh, that makes everybody happy. Heathcliff?
My goal was to assist in the process, but not lead. And luckily, Kiara took the lead, so I actually managed to technicality my way into that one.
So I think each of you will get a persona point for that. And from there, it feels kind of difficult to go and do the usual the votes for MVP. So,
well, there are 3 things, right? Let's just give each of us one of those things.
Honestly, yeah, because I feel like everybody
what is the reward? Add a reward.
Get a persona point. And from there, this has been like a little bouncy, I feel like. So let's go to Heathcliff and Will Knight. You can go ahead and do your little outro and say what you've been playing and such.
I am Guillermo. I go by Will_Knight3 on Twitter. Knights 1 and 2 are still at large, but I'm getting there. I talk about D&D on Twitter. I play Curse of Strahd on Capricorn Cross's Twitch channel. And here, and that's it. That's who I am, that's what I do. And I'm a mouse.
How is a mouse compared to what other things you play in D&D? Because I feel like
top 1 and 2.
I feel like a honeycomb is like in a regular fantasy game, it's like, oh, honey, but like with a mouse, it's like this big, and you're just like, oh,
yeah,
no. Delicious.
My mouse family lives in a hollowed out tree full of honeycombs all the way around in the branches and in the roots and stuff. So for a mouse, it's like, oh yeah, no, Heathcliff has a full life before.
Okay, we're gonna have a beach episode, but it's gonna be in Heathcliff's family's tree hive. Yeah.
Yeah, when the light hits it right, it glows golden all the way inside because of the honey. It's good stuff. And that's me.
Let's buzz on over to Distracted Elf in that case.
What up, friends? I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf. If you want to see me doing more tabletop stuff, I am on again this afternoon on twitch.tv/DND for Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And I also run a game on Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m. PST that IGM called TBDND. Because we couldn't come up with a name, so that's what it's called. That's it.
Lovely. Be sure to check our friends out. And I am a longtime game master of Mouse Guard and static player when I get the opportunity. And I do play later tonight with the Freedom of Joff campaign at Welcome to the Party RPG. That's going to be at 8 p.m. EST. And I'm also desperately trying to schedule players for a Mouse Guard podcast sometime soon, as well as a Animorphs game, Morphs in the Dark. That game is kind of halfway out right now on my Twitter if you want to check it out. But other than that, that's all I get up to. And You have been watching the Encounter RPG channel, where we're going to be... is it Warhammer after us, I think? I think it is.
Lindy.
I think it is. No Warhammer today? Well, gosh darn, I appreciate everybody who came out today, and I hope you'll be sticking around for next week as the Year of the Bear begins its eventual end, as our players now have the tremendous task of skunking the bear. That is the new campaign title, Skunking the Bear. Mouse guard. Spray the
Hitting
bear.
the bear in the face with skunk butt. That's
Year of
our
the bear,
new
scratch, year of the
mission.
skunk.
That's my life now.
Oh god. Ooh. Ooh. Full ranged attack. Aerial ranged bat skunk attack. It's wonderful. Beginners Play D&D is in 3 hours, guys. So if you want, make a note as you get your lunch set. Oh, I'm so hungry. I want lunch. Man, so everybody, we'll see you guys later. We're really pleased with everything. Gosh darn, I'm so happy. And I'm also tired. So, bye. I love you. You take care, okay? Also, go see a video of Bear versus Skunk, because it is tremendous.